starting this video up here in the garage with Gertie over here sitting on just stock rims right now. Here's my dilemma here. I have these very nice gold Brembos, and they look very similar to STI Brembos. Matter of fact, the front one looks identical here. The only difference I see is that these little black things kind of stick out from the pads, but I don't know if that's actually something relevant or not. And in the back, size-wise, they look kind of similar, but the design-wise is a little bit different than the STIs. So my dilemma is that I can't figure out what pads to get for this, because every time I go to a website that sells brake pads, what I get is pads for just like a non-performance package or TS or Tornado Edition, BRZ or GR86, and I have no idea which pads to get. Like, not a single website that I usually shop at. And when you look at like comments of forums, I cannot figure out which ones am I supposed to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off and see if they're the same as the STI brake pads. So what I have here is these Club Racer Project Mu brakes, which I've used them on my STI ones. These are the fronts. I wanna try to see if this is the same in front as this, and if so, I can buy STI front pads. The rears will be next, and we'll figure that out as well. So let's jack up the car and see what pads are in there. Alright, I wanted to get that on camera, see. Alright, so I'm gonna pull this. So it has some shims in the back, looks like. So I already can see that it's a little bit more, it's not just your regular degular. That's why it's actually stopping pretty good on track. It looks like it has a little bit of metal shavings, I guess. Size-wise though, let's compare. So this is this one. The STI brake. So far pretty similar, so let's put them next to each other. The only difference I see is that the Project Mu one is slightly longer on the edges, but otherwise it is the same here, and it's exactly the same on this side. On top, these holes, yeah, I don't know what this extra metal crap is and what's for. I don't think that matters at all. Looks like this has way more pad than the 3,000 miles I already put on these. There's a little bit more. So the only thing that matters is where these go, and they'll go just like that, right? So it looks like they go through either one. I'm actually gonna try to put this one in here right now. The stock one has this shim in the back. I don't think it really matters for anything. I usually don't put any shims on it, as you can see, like this one I didn't put any of them. Obviously this little tip is for the sound, so once you get really close to wearing them out, it's just gonna scrape the metal disc, and so it'll make noise. Otherwise, I have no idea what these stupid things are for. If anybody knows, let me know. No clue. They just like stick out from the brakes, as you can see in the beginning of the video, and that's it. Otherwise, the design wise, I don't see a reason why I can't just order STI pad. And I'm assuming this is just a difference in design from the manufacturer, so this one just goes a little bit further, so there's a little bit more of it. If I put it all the way down to here, like on top, you can see that there's a little more, but metal piece is actually identical. All right, I'm gonna stick these in. All right, couldn't notice one thing. So these used to be on my STI, and as you can see, the pistons on the STI. A slightly different size. This one's a little bigger, this one's a little smaller here as well. Must have been on the other side. This one's bigger, this one's a little smaller. Bigger, smaller. Check out the BRZs. They're like identical size. Also, this one's, I marked it which one was on the inside, which one was on the outside. You can see that they put some grease in here for squeaks or something like that, maybe. I don't do any of it, but anyway. Also, is this, who's gonna use the QR code on this? Anyway, I thought that was interesting. All right, I saved you boredom of actually putting them back in. Basically, all you do is just stick them in and then put back this little metal piece and then stick back these rods and then flip them back with these things. That's about it. So fits perfect. I don't know what else to say. It's a direct fit. So confirmation on the first part is that the front is identical to the Brembo brakes on STI. So in my case, I was picking the 2007 GD STI front Brembo pads, and that's what I'm gonna do. Anybody wondering, this is what they were. I don't know if they still produce them. It was a couple of years ago. This is exactly the code, the name. I don't think there's anything else. I think taking it to the track on stock brake pads, I personally did not feel any fade with Motul 600 as your fluid. However, when you have a passenger and any really extra weight in the car, once you do a few laps, I felt a little bit of kind of the effectiveness of brakes going down, but never when I'm in the car by myself. So I was comfortable taking it on stock pads to the track. And people were like, "Oh, you have stock pads? What?" And I'm like, "Well, they're Brembos, and they are no pretty light car, and they actually work fine. Especially if you're not pushing 1010s, you should never ever have problems." But I'm gonna go to VIR pretty soon here. That's why the prep, really. In a month, we're gonna go to Virginia International. It usually is really hot there. You know, I just want to be safeguarded. Also probably gonna end up taking passengers on, so I want to have a little bit more pad than maybe I need to. So anyway, this is the first step, figuring out what correct pad is, and successfully the front pads, which is probably the most important, are the same as pads on STI. So if you purchase in any, just put in 2007, 2005, 2006 STI, probably even later STIs before they got to 6 pistons, and it'll be the same pad. Next, we'll try to see what is in the back. Immediately next, I will do the same to the other side here and put these babies in, and then I'll go for a test drive and, you know, make sure it works. Okay, yes, I decided since I was here, I might as well just take these out. Again, in the back, it's easy. You just pull these pins out, take these little things out, and then that metal thing will come off, and then your pads will come off. So pretty easy design here. Let's do it and take a look, at least visually, see if they resemble anything that I remember from the back of STI. Okay, same thing. Let's try to take them out live here. Let's pull the pistons back a little bit, just so it's easier to do that. All right. Well, there's a part number here at least. There you go. If you need it. So I don't understand. It has a shim already, and then there's another one. This is what Subaru does. All right. I'm gonna quickly go and measure these, and then I'm gonna go to Ferrotto website. I've looked at the website on Ferrotto, and they have measurements. So I've measured from basically the metal parts in the back. This is about 76, maybe 77 millimeters. From top to bottom, 60, let's see, 65 maybe millimeters, something like that. This is about 14 millimeters here, but that's obviously depending on how worn this is. And then the pad itself is about 45 millimeters. So if you look at that picture, which I'll put right here, the measurements all are the same. I'll put the numbers maybe up here somewhere. So I am more than confident that this is the same brake pad as on back of the STI. So my next step is just to get some more aggressive pads. I'm pretty confident that the brakes on the 2024 BRZ TS pad-wise are identical to 2007 STI or any GD STI, and for that matter, any STI prior to 2018, I think, when they went to 6 pistons. So that's my conclusion. If you disagree, let me know. I'm assuming that one of the pistons is different. I've noticed that one of the pistons on the STI is slightly different size than the other versus BRZ. It seems like they use exactly the same size pistons, but as far as brake pads, they're the same. That's what I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna order those, put those in, and be ready for the track in maybe a little bit over a month away, maybe a little less. So I'll be ready. All right, so I think in general, mission accomplished. So went for a quick cruise just to make sure that there's nothing funky about the brake pads sitting in, and there's absolutely nothing. There's a bunch of yahooing going on, almost 10 o'clock here in Duluth. Anyway, so these are the perfect brakes that you can put on your BRZ if you have a performance package or GR86, Torino, TS, BRZ. Mission accomplished. Now we're just going home, and I'm gonna go on the website and gonna get some parts for it, so I'm ready for the track. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get either Ferrotto DS2500 brake pads or maybe something like a Hawk Endurance brake pad. We'll see what's available, what's in stock, how can I get it the fastest, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, for now, I'm signing off, and enjoy this quick B-roll as I'm standing here in the parking lot. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, this didn't last even a few days. We already got the compound we want, so no more of this. We're gonna put this in, and this is Hawk Performance ER1. For those that are interested, ER1s, this is the part numbers for these. This is the front, I do believe, and this is the back. Here you go. If you need it, use it.